Interior, Pudding's family house. Morning. Morning makes the house look honest and poor. Landed a flight school application, tuition estimates, 3 piles on the dining table, not friendly with others. Pudding's mother, Mayland, late in six ties folds laundry beside the paperwork she refused to touch. 为什么会多这个角色？Pudding stands in his present uniform, half changed for work, half still in yesterday. Mayland says, "I feel fake to your grandfather." Pudding says, "The feel is not feeding us now." Mayland says, "Because you keep looking at the sky instead of the ground." She accepted the heat. It is not new enough to bleed. Pudding says, "I can sell the back fresh, not over it." "I can sell the back fresh, not over it." Mayland says, "Back pressure from present people only call it smaller after." She picked up the flight school phone. Mayland said, "This is not a job." Pudding says, "Either is prison. If I only survive it." Mayland says, "Surviving is a job." A photo for Pudding's father's watches from the cabinet, work shirt, burning face from the sun, no patience for poetry. No for poetry. Mayland says, "Your father keep this then when everyone saw it." Pudding says she also keep a son who hide in uniform. She looks at him, then really looks. Mayland says, "Do not make your chains expensive." Pudding takes the phone back. Pudding says, "I'm trying to make it useful." Mayland falls on the shirt to shopping. Mayland says, "Useful things usually cost less." Interior land scriber. Land scrivener office display. White lights on the glass desk, lens smashed under the plastic. A room where every family argues becomes a rectangle. The scrivener turns the content to the signature page. Scrivener. Here, initial here. Some print after signature. 呆书啦，想这个字什么字？Pudding stares at the precious number. Scrivener. "You are sure this is the selection?" Pudding says, "No." The scriber pushes. Pudding says, "I'm signing anyway. Pen in hand, he does not move. Exteriors. When who lined. Dates flashback. The elevator train is slipped between the Taipei buildings. A younger Pudding pressed his forehand to the window. Office. Apartment. Rooftop tanks. Then for the 1 quick seconds, when Songshan runway appears. A jet rottenness beyond the city edge. Young Pudding stopped breathing until it cleansed out of sight. Exterior. Louis schoolyard's afternoon flashback. Louis schoolyard. Okay. 2 children sit on hot concentrate with a notebook, paper, and stone patience. Young Peggy folds up papers, airplanes with the service concentration. Young Pudding tried to copy her. His wigs come out crook. Young Peggy says, "Bob Vincent." Young Pudding says, "It still flies." He's strobing the plane rolled over and attacked the ground. Young Peggy says, "See, it's believe you." She seeks the fault, gives it back. Young Peggy says, "Try again, but do not light it." Exterior, college rooms, College Dawn launches night flashback. A television without nothing modern, a local news segment. Peggy, older now, in a pilot uniform, stands beside an airline banner and try not to look proud. Captions: Tai Dongbong first officer joined international route training. Culture pudding stands with a bowl of instant noodles going soft in his hand. On TV, Peggy answers a reporter with a professional client. Peggy on TV: the airplane does not care where you are from, it cares what you do next. The run laughed at something else. Pudding does not. Exterior, land governor office thing. The pen move across the contract. Pudding sighs. The name looks older than he feels. This governor offered the raked in pet. Pudding pressed his thumbs into it. 现在还有用木头直接画一样。For a second, his surroundings looks like the one with heat borders. He thumbs the papers. Copy fired. Cancellation is complicated. 小的，现在没有人在用指头，现在没有人在用指头在画押了啦，那是文盲在做的事情。印章，好像国外也没有这，算了。The ones we need hold. He stamped the papers. Scrivener. Once fired, cancellation is complicated. Pudding says, that is the point. Outside the glass wall, traffic moves mobilely. His life does not. 这个太那个，太文艺描述。Interior, ex-ground school, classroom, date. A bright class and too bright for mercy. Student flicks through the dense turnouts. L-speed indicators, altitude indicator, altimeter, pre-start, preferred text, rung up. Pudding sits in the second to the last row. His new notebook has 3 careful lines on the first page and panics on the fourth. Peggy writes on the one whiteboard. Checklists are not memory aids. Checklists are discipline X. Peggy says, who can tell me the differences? A competent student writes at hand. Competent student. Memory aids help you remember. Discipline aids make sure you do it in order. Peggy says, almost. She caps the marker. Peggy says, a memory aid trusts you. A discipline aid does not. A few students smile. Pudding writes every word too slowly. Peggy says a copy is full of the smart people who did the right thing out of the order. She thinks Pudding trying to keep up. Peggy says, Mr. Chen. She looks on too late to pretend she was ready. Peggy says, before start checklist, first item. Pudding capsule. Kappa and secure. Peggy says, from memory or from the pages. Pudding says, from fear. A small laugh moved through the room. Peggy says, fear is not a soft document. The laugh starts. Peggy says, read it. Pudding finds the lines in the English abbreviations crawled together. Pudding says, passenger briefing complete. Seatbelt, fastened it, door, latches. Peggy says, good. Again without apologies to the paper. He reads again, cleaner. Peggy turns back to the room. Peggy says, nobody here is about the checklist. Not me, not Fabian, not the person who thinks his father bought him extra physics. The confident student looks down. Okay, in stereo, Dulan present, information room night. The information is a low-lived list of the monitors, duty logs, and leftover instant coffee. Building stand before Lin Zicheng, with the print training scheduled into small guilty square. Huang danced against the cabinet, loose enough to enjoy himself. Lin Zhicheng, you want night shift adjustment for your hobby? Pudding says training program. Huang says expensive hobby. Pudding said I can train weekends. I already spoke to Vino. Lin Zhicheng, sir, you spoke to Vino before asking the office. That is, the trap was building before he entered it. Pudding says I asked him if he was willing. Huang says very dramatic. We should put the person in a ballot. Lin Zicheng says the office learned the schedule before they negotiated with it. Lin Zicheng says, Pudding says the clause is fixed. I'm not asking a few hours. Lin Zicheng says you are asking us to care why you all tried it. Pudding swallows the first answer. It would feel good and it costs too much. Pudding says I can still cover every post. One say until you cannot. Lin stepped up files without reading. Lin Zicheng says submit a formal request. Pudding says I did. He placed the phone on the desk. Lin looks at it like a small dead insect. Lin Zicheng said, then some impatient. One smiles notice. One says, for now, logistics nights need you. Pudding says, logistics nights were not on my rotation. One says, now they are. Pudding looked at the monitors. One camera showed the loading bays, an empty to 9 and 2 empty. He forced the schedule against smolder.